What's good, Relentless Gang? You know who it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Relentless Lex, and I'm back like I never left this mother effer. Yes, Sirsky. All right, so you guys, man, we got Big Gene dropping another bombshell, bro. Oh, who else other than Slicky Dicky Diddy? I was my Dicky. Pause. Bro, oh, Diddy. Oh, man. So he said this is proof of his imminent arrest. Now, the thing about it is, they just caught what the Tupac's killer just dropped a bombshell on himself. So they arrested Tupac's murderer. So people still believing that it's connected to Diddy. I've been hearing rumors and speculations that he said Diddy had nothing to do with him assassination of Tupac, but his assassination of Tupac. But here come another bombshell from Big Gene, man. We're gonna see what Big Gene got now. Let's get it. Spicy.
Upset. And he may be losing some of his power.
That was only half the revelation Gene Deal just made about his former boss, as it gets even worse.
He made statements alluding to the fact that Diddy owed him something from the protection he gave us while we was running back and forth to Cali.
Here's what Deal.
Oh, hold on, bro. Just in case y'all wondering what I'm drinking, bro. It's Detox. My first time trying it. Detox. I don't want to tell y'all exactly what it is. All right. So it's the apple cider vinegar detox thing. I got it from Walmart. I heard it was pretty good. I'm gonna do it for 7 days. Today is only my first day. It's supposed to help you with bloat because I'm back in the gym and everything, right? And all the bad foods and all the alcohol and everything on my lives, as y'all can see. I've been bloated. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see this is gonna help me to get my bloat down. As you can tell, I'm back in the gym. I got my gym attire on. I'm relentless with it in the gym once again. Transformation coming soon. Let's get it.
Seems to have been referring to.
Do you feel like Puffy owe you?
Yeah, he should. I think he should look out. He look out for everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
But do you know why Diddy should be scared now? Well, it's because the headlines aren't looking good for his former associate, Keefe D.
We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, a.k.a. Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur.
In the history of the music industry, there are probably only a handful of events that can compare to the outrage that came after Tupac was violently taken away from the world. This reaction from the public has led to several questions being asked about how a crime that was so public could go without answers for years. However, the days of waiting are finally over, as there have been a couple of promising new updates in the case. While these updates are mostly good for the majority of the populace, it seems Diddy might not be too happy that answers are finally coming. This is because there have been several revelations about the music executive's alleged involvement, but it seems there might actually be some weight to those allegations because of the new updates. At least, that's what the case is bound to seem like if someone who has worked with him from the days when he was rolling with Tupac is saying that the exec might be on his toes now. Not necessarily because the authorities are on the way to pick him up immediately, just because Diddy stepped on a lot of toes on his journey to success, and now it seems it's all coming back to bite him in the form of a possible arrest. If you thought all the talk about Diddy being involved in the story was just a rumor, the things his own former employees are saying might make you have a change of heart.
Keefe D had said that Diddy had some kind of involvement in a for-hire scheme.
It's been almost 3 decades since he lost his life and his case was shelved. But today, the story of Tupac's murder is back at the center of the media, and it's finally come with answers. This is good news, not just for the fact that the crime has gone unanswered for decades, but the other aspect to it is that the updates about the case are pointing to the man that was already considered everyone's prime suspect, and it's none other than Diddy. From regular bystanders all the way to celebrities, almost everyone that had connections with Tupac and was around at the time of his murder has linked it to Diddy to it in one way or the other. For scientific testing, these theories seem to check out because Diddy seemingly had the most to gain from the rapper losing his life. And if there's intent and motive on the table, what more do you need to convince you?
I couldn't imagine what was being held on to all this time for them to be so curious that they wanted to go raid the spot.
Well, if you still had trouble
bro,
believing,
that's crazy.
it looks like you're in luck today because yet another one of Diddy's old associates has just stepped out to make some revelations about how the rapper might be walking on thin ice with the recent updates in the case. But what makes this take uniquely special is that the person speaking was with Diddy while the whole Tupac beef was going down. According to Gene Deal, one of Diddy's former bodyguards and friend, Diddy might be panicking because someone who might be able to point a finger at him for an alleged involvement has just been arrested.
We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, aka Keefy D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur.
The man who goes by Keefy D being in this situation might have not raised any immediate flags under normal circumstances. But what makes this particularly Diddy's problem is that the rapper seems to have cut Keefy D off after he had him do some dirty deeds. But with the arrest news, the tables just might be turning against Diddy. Speaking of things turning, in a surprising turn of events that could only happen in the world of sensational scandals, Las Vegas detectives arrested Dwayne Keith D. Davis, a 60-year-old gang leader known for causing trouble. His arrest has shocked many in the industry and given hope to those seeking justice in Tupac's murder case. Mopreme Shakur, Tupac's stepbrother, had mixed feelings about the arrest. He called it bittersweet and raised questions about why it took authorities so long to arrest Keith D, especially when they were aware of his involvement for years.
Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996.
Bro, I thought it was a law that says if a person commits a crime, if you can't find them for 7 years, then they must be let go. You can't arrest them or something. I thought it was a law that says that. If a person can be on the run for 7 years and never get caught, that means they free. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I gotta look and investigate on that.
During a press conference, Homicide Lieutenant Jason Johansson didn't hold back, describing Davis as the leader and decision maker and leaving many questions unanswered. Interestingly, much of the case's information had been with law enforcement from the early stages of the investigation. However, it took an unexpected turn when Keith D started admitting his involvement in 2018. Sheriff Kevin McMahill assured the public that the case was still ongoing and that they were working on a strong prosecution. Nevada's grand jury agreed and indicted Davis for the murder after several months of deliberation. His arrest was unexpected, happening while he was casually walking near his home. As Gene Deal has been alleging, Keith D's arrest might be a pretty big problem for Diddy, as the man has already been singing about having ties with the bad boy CEO going beyond what is considered regular. I mean, the simple fact that Deal, having known and been in the same space with both men, is aware of how they had closed conversations, points to the fact that there might be certain dealings between them that many people have missed over the years. You see, while Keith D was only recently arrested, this isn't the first time police have come close to bringing him in. Back in July, the Daily Mirror reported that Las Vegas police had recovered several .40 caliber bullets while executing a search warrant at the Henderson, Nevada residence belonging to Keith D's wife, Paula Clemens.
They raided his house. They found magazines with Pac on the cover, laptops, hard drives, weed, everything, man.
I saw shell, bullets and shit.
Keith D, who's a former member of the Southside Compton Crips, is the uncle of Pac's alleged killer, Orlando Anderson, and has admitted on more than one occasion to playing a role in the rapper's 1996 murder. The fact that Keith D has now been arrested proves that there has been probable cause for the arrest for a while. And considering the man has said Diddy had cut him off years ago, the rapper is almost certainly troubled by the reality coming for him.
Do you feel like Puffy owe you?
Yeah, he should. I think he should look out. He look out for everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
But how did the police even get this close to Diddy if he was so sleek with his mission? Well, the thing is, the police actually weren't closing in on Diddy, just every other person that was around him back in the day. And this is exactly the claim Gene Deal has just made about Keith D's arrest.
He made statements alluding to the fact that Diddy owe him something from the protection he gave us while we was running back and forth.
Yo, bro, Big Gene sound like a preacher just now. Big Gene, I thought he took me to Sunday service just now. Boy, Big Gene ain't he feeling pretty hot by the situation, bro. Big Gene wants some money too, I believe.
Everyone that's been reported to have been around during Tupac's murder, only Keefe D has repeatedly told the world he knew exactly what happened to Tupac. But little did he know the authorities were watching too. Talking about the whole thing in an interview from a couple of years back, the self-proclaimed Compton Kingpin began by explaining that he has cancer, granting him immunity from prosecution, hence the reason for the confession 20 years later.
You said the shots came from the back. Who shot Tupac?
To keep it from the cold of the streets. It just came from the back seat, bro.
Davis said he was sitting in the front passenger seat of the car. Terrence Brown was driving, and DeAndre Smith and Davis's cousin, Orlando Anderson, were in the back. They were all part of the Southside Crips gang. They were supposedly on their way to Suge Knight's 662 Club in Las Vegas, searching for Tupac. This was because Tupac had apparently fought with one of their gang members earlier that day. But when Tupac didn't show up at the club, they left. However, they later saw Tupac driving towards the club, standing up through the car's sunroof. "My partner bust a U," Davis tells the camera. "When we pulled up, I was in the front seat." Davis says the shots came from the back but does not name the shooter. Going to keep it for the code of the streets. It just came from the back seat. Despite Davis saying he would not confess who murdered Tupac, he's spoken about it during a previous interview with the police. In the now-deleted tape, he claims Orlando Anderson shot the rapper. Anderson was an alleged Crips gang member with whom Shakur had a run-in earlier that night after the boxing match. Members of the entourage following Knight in Shakur's car even told police that Anderson fired the shots.
Keefe D's nephew is Orlando Anderson. He's the individual that got into a fight with Tupac Shakur the night that Tupac was shot.
Anderson, however, was eventually killed in 1998 in an unrelated gang shooting, and no other leads emerged. He also denied killing Tupac, but word on the street is that Diddy might have just paid him to squash his beef with the All Eyes on Me rapper, and also remove the record executive's problems in one sweep. Anyway, following Keefe D's broadcast, the show's creator Kyle Long was interviewed by The Wrap, saying that it's outrageous that Keefe D is not in jail, adding that it ultimately does not matter that he does not say who pulled the trigger. Now that word has spread of Keefe D's arrest and other details that have just come out pointing to Diddy's seeming involvement. A lot of people talking, most of whom seem to know a lot more on the whole subject than you'd expect. One person, referring to Keefe, wrote, "He already admitted that Puffy offered him $1M for the hit, and that his connect provided him the weapon in Vegas. Puffy bragged about it on record in 1999. Meanwhile, others still doubt that Diddy had anything at all to do with the case. One person with this point of view wrote, "Yes and no. From what I understand, Puffy may have had some loose talk, but Pac got shot because he around and played gangster with a guy who was really about that life. Orlando didn't call Pac for Puff, he killed Pac because Pac jumped him." However, the reason many people seem to believe Diddy had more to do with the rapper's passing than meets the eye is that several other people have alluded to it over the years. One of these people is Ice Cube, and the actor, upon finding out about Keefe D's arrest, said some things about the case that just seemed like something only someone with access to certain kinds of information would say.
It seems like it's 30 years too late, but I'm pretty sure, we haven't heard the absolute whole truth.
Not only does Cube think there's a lot more to this case than what we're seeing, but he also stated that it was a shame the killer hadn't been found all these years, even though Tupac was one of the biggest artists of his time. It was almost like the Ice Cube was inclining toward the fact that there might have been intentional foul play in the case. What makes that perspective even more profound is that Ice Cube is just one in a multitude of big names in the industry that have hinted at top players of the industry being involved in Tupac's passing. The only difference is that, unlike the Cube, others named Diddy. While Tupac's murder has remained a mystery through the years, with conspiracies running wild, there have been a few pointers to what happened, and Diddy's name always finds its way to those conversations. Eminem, who is known as one of the top rappers in the world, is another top celebrity that has raised suspicions that Diddy might have played a part in the icon's murder. This unsolved crime from the 1990s came back into the spotlight because of Eminem's diss track aimed at Machine Gun Kelly. This has sparked renewed speculation among rap music fans about Diddy's possible involvement in Tupac's death.
Hey, got the Diddy okay, so you spent your whole day shooting a video just to dig your own grave.
About 3 years ago, Eminem brought up the controversy surrounding Tupac Shakur's tragic murder again. He did this by including lyrics in one of his songs that accused Diddy of being connected to the killing of the hip-hop legend. Tupac, who also used the name Lassane Parish Crooks, was just 25 years old when he was shot 4 times after a fight on the Las Vegas Strip in 1996. Then in September 2018, Eminem released a song called Kill Shot. This song was clearly directed at rapper Machine Gun Kelly as part of their ongoing beef. However, some of the song's lyrics suggested that Diddy may have been involved in Tupac's murder. The Day You Put Out a Hit is the day Diddy admits he put the hit out that got Pat K. The song ends with the words, "And I'm just playing Diddy, you know I love you." Looks like there might be something these people aren't telling the rest of us something, but from the looks of things, the police might be closer to finding out the truth than ever. That's it for this video. Goodbye.
Bro, if Diddy ain't paranoid right now, bro, if he did have anything to do with Pac's kill, the demise, and Keefy D knows something, bro, he best believe all that's about to come out right now, bro. Oh, you see, Keefy D said for the street code, bro, he said he ain't gonna say who did the shooting. He just said the shots came from the back. So that tells me he really don't want to say nobody's name, though. So that may be a good thing for Diddy, if he has some ties into it with Keefy D. But like another fan said he believed that Tupac's murder didn't have anything to do with Diddy. He think Tupac had just ran into a real gangster that was really about that action. But you never know if the situation was meant to take place. Like that real gangster probably was meant to be there at that time to pick that fight with Pac for everything, earlier that day. Everything could have been a setup. But I guess we find out further details in the future. It's going to get more spicy. We do know that, guys. It's going to be more spicy.